Hey guys, I'm Ashley and today we're going to make a rug tufting frame here on Chip Builds. So I got these 1x4s from the Home Depot, and for this project I decided to pre-paint all of my wood before I did any kind of cutting or drilling, just to save a little bit of time. So once I marked out where I needed to cut these pieces, I brought it over to the miter saw and I made quick work of these cuts. Okay, so when you're drilling pocket holes on pre-finished or pre-painted wood, when you go to put the stop to hold the piece to the jig itself, it can leave a mark, and if you don't want that, because either your finish hasn't dried completely in my case, or because you just don't want to mess it up in general, what you can do is you can get like a paper towel or something soft and you wrap it and then you can put it in the jig, and in that way there won't be any marks left over from the Craig jig itself. To build this frame, I am using the pocket hole jig, and you can see I've taken that paper towel and wrapped it around the wood so that there's no marking, and it worked really well. So now I'm ready to assemble these pieces, and I used a 1, 2, 3 square just to really make sure everything was 90-degree angles and upright to screw in the pieces of wood with the pocket holes. So the next part we need to make for the rug frame is we need to make a spot to hold these spools of yarn that I have. So I took these dowels and I've cut them roughly to the same height of them, and then so I'm just going to drill the hole into the piece of wood and then glue these down, and that should make it so that the yarn is really easy to feed into the tufting gun. To drill the hole for the dowels, I am using a 1-inch spade bit, and I'm just doing a dry fit to make sure everything is the correct size and spacing. To assemble it all, I am going to use my favorite CA glue called Star Bond, and I'm just using my speed square to really make sure that those dowels are completely straight. That way we'll have no issues when putting the yarn on there to feed it into the tufting gun. Now I did add some corner braces just to really reinforce everything. I got a little too zealous and screwed them in too soon. I forgot I had to nail in the carpet tack first. You can find the carpet tack in the rug aisle over at any home improvement store, and it's really simple to add to your frame. All you have to do is line up the edge with the edge of the frame, and then there'll be some really big nails that you can hammer into your frame to secure it to your wood. You do need to be careful when you do this because there's a bunch of little nails pointing downward, and those nails are going to be why you're able to have the rug tufting cloth be on the frame. So just keep in mind when you're doing that and be very careful so that you don't stab yourself. I've done it a number of times, and one tip when adding this to your frame, you always want to make sure that the nails are facing down. So for the bottom you want the nails facing down, for the top you want them facing up, and for the left you want the nails facing to the left, and for the right you want them facing to the right. If you have them the other way, you're going to have a much harder time getting the cloth to stretch properly, and then it would just be harder to make a rug in general. Now these rug tacks come in really long lengths, and so I just take a little handheld saw and I'll kind of butt it up against the other piece and just a hand saw to the correct length. It does take a couple minutes, but it's really easy to cut through this material. Once I had that all nailed in, I decided to put the brackets on the back side of the tufting frame to reinforce it. That way I didn't have to do it on the front. This tufting frame ended up looking really awesome, and this is going to let me make about 4-foot length rugs, which is really good. I strongly suggest you make your own rug tufting frame if you are going to get into it, just because the ones on the market are typically about 2 feet by 2 feet, and for most people that size of rug is too small. I hope this video helped, and please comment down below if you have any questions or issues.